You know it and I know it, mate. Wonder why you can't get shit made from overseas? It's because of corporate America. As they have sold out the country in 1981, they were preparing NAFTA well over a decade before it was even implemented. Wonder why you can't get your stuff from overseas? It's because it's no longer made in America. It's all thanks to right wing corporate greed, and it all stems even before Reagan's inauguration. It started at the court level in the Supreme Court in 1979, 1978. Buckley versus Valeo made money speech in political campaigns. America was never the same again after 1980, 1981. America was given away to the billionaires and a movie theater actor, Ronald Reagan. It was never going to be the same again at that time. Ronald Reagan sold America to corporations, got rid of antitrust laws, has lowered corporate marginal tax rates from the high 70s, from the 70s to 20%, to 28%. This was perhaps the biggest con job in the history of America. That the billionaires were going to give it, we're going to let it trickle down to the working class. When you get rid of the marginal tax rate from over 70% to 28%, this was the biggest con job. That is the biggest, the biggest reason for this is Ronald Reagan and the right wing millionaires. If stuff was made in America, you would have a dress shirt available to buy. You would have toys made in America available to ship out right before Christmas. If the This is all to blame for corporate America. They sold out your countrymen. They wanted the slave labor on pennies of the dollar in Indonesia, in China, in Vietnam, and many other places around the world. You would be able to receive your items just in time if it was only made in America, where workers made a living wage, produced that good. The money stays in America. It goes to you. But nope. Ronald Reagan, the right-wing billionaires say no, it should not be that way. And Donald Trump was part of the same group of people that make their goods in China, in Indonesia, in Vietnam, and overseas. This was perhaps the biggest con job of them all, and this is all to blame for the COVID economy, is corporate America. They are to blame completely for this. It all stems from the ratification of NAFTA. Even Joe Biden was part of it too. He was part of the ratification of NAFTA. This guy was part of the crime bill, etc. Joe is over his head, but he certainly isn't a right-wing fascist. We could do worse, but we certainly could do a lot better than what we have right now in this country. You can have something made in the Midwest, shipped out, it's there in 7 to 10 days instead of, stuck in a port from China. It's these corporations that are to blame for this. These same corporations are like, why aren't our jobs getting filled? Because they're not paying a living wage, and that's the biggest reason why these people are over their heads, and boomers are over their heads. Why aren't there workers out there? They're a bunch of lazy General C millennials. Over their heads, boomers. Cost of living was far lower. It was much easier for them versus us out there. The boomers are over their heads. It's a lot more expensive to try to live today than it was 30, 40 years ago. Self-absorbed boomers, the worst generation in America. Certainly, they could not touch my grandfather at all. Born 1935 during the time of the Greatest Generation. These boomers are selfish. They're narcissistic. They're self-absorbed. They're like, screw the younger generation. I'm getting rich right now. All that matters is what I make in my lifetime. While the greatest generation on earth is like, what can I do to sacrifice for the generation that is taking over our place? And that's the biggest difference from the greatest generation in the world and the boomers that destroyed America with Ronald Reagan trickle-down nonsense. Let's take all the greed. Milton Friedman, the libertarian economist, he said, greed is good. Economy should run on greed. Greed is going to pass down to everybody. Milton Friedman is all over his head. This guy is a libertarian billionaire, corporate propagandist, neoliberal stooge. The world has woken up. You would not have gotten the angry mob of Trump if you did not see what the Cato Institute libertarian billionaire globalist agenda was about. Libertarianism was off. It had a lot of momentum, I tell you. In 2015 and the Tea Party revolution with Obama, like, oh, the billionaires need more taxes. Obama's some communist that's going to raise your taxes and redistribute the wealth to everybody. That was the biggest con job. That never happened. Obama was a corporatist to the core. The right-wing billionaires told you Obama was a black communist, infiltrating these older generations with racism and bigotry. That this colored guy was going to transform America into a communist socialist country. This never happened because Obama is a globalist, and Obama is a millionaire, and Obama is selling out America to the richest people out there. Then Donald Trump takes over, and it's boom! It's all the same. Obama gave us a healthcare system to Obama's credit, but then Donald Trump and the right-wing fascist con tried to get rid of it all. And then it cost them the midterms. And then the right wing says, we want you all to work. Who cares about you? You're all disposable. That cost the right wing the election. We don't care about the populace at all. We don't care about the populace at all. Joe Biden and the corporate gang in the DNC are selling out the country. Cinema in her lapdog mansion are the biggest disgraces the world has ever seen. Was it as big of a grift as Donald Trump? Where is the Medicaid expansion beyond the coronavirus extra boost to Obamacare? Where was the $15 minimum wage that you all promised to the world? Where was that? Where is it, Joe? You were not setting Manchin in line, were you? You were letting him just sabotage the squad. You were in on this, weren't you, Joe Biden? Yep. You got a few millionaires in the Senate who were willing to say, oh, we're going to vote no on minimum wage. We'll pretend to agree with it. And they got these little millionaires out there. We're going to vote no. We're going to stall the minimum wage. We're going to say, ha, high five with the Republican Party. Kirsten Sinema in her high boots and her biker jacket. High five, Mitch McConnell. High five, you guys. High five. High five. Kirsten Sinema, what a bitch. What a bitch, Kirsten Sinema. And then Manchin and his daughter are screwing over West Virginians right now to the second. I did all I could. I don't know what's in the bill. I cannot, in real conscience, vote for the bill. Manchin, this guy's a Republican. The Democratic Party doesn't have real control, but the Joe Biden and the higher ups are letting Sinema and Manchin stall everything. It's because they're teaming up with the Republican Party. The DNC helped the Republican Party get in the power when they sabotaged Bernie Sanders in the 2016 race. The DNC let Trump win, and the DNC said Kamala Harris should be our vice president, and she did not prosecute Trump, and she donated money to Trump, and all that. It's like, whoa, what a bunch of right-wing parties running this country today. I swear to God. They don't even pretend to be right-wing sympathizers. The DNC and the Joe Biden and all these guys are bipartisan, all that are bipartisan. The rot stems from 1979, the fact that we don't have real campaign finance laws anymore. It's gotten a lot worse than 1979. We had 2010, the Citizens United decision where they can't even disclose where their money is from. It all stems from Ronald Reagan, the right-wing billionaire plan to say, hey, socialism is bad for the people is bad. Tax breaks for the wealthy will trickle down to all of you guys. It's the same playbook. It's the same playbook that has happened since 1978. It's the same billionaire New World Order neoliberal agenda that has existed for quite some time. America was never the same again after 1978, 1979, 1980. Ronald Reagan. Ronald, you see, Ronald, 6, Wilson, 6, Reagan, 6. Ronald Wilson Reagan destroyed America. He is the actor. He's the celebrity that, oh, America, we love Reagan actor. He's our president. He's a great actor. He's all that. It's the same place. Donald Trump is all talking about the media, but he's part of the media. He was employed by NBC. Oh my God, he was employed by NBC with Celebrity Apprentice. Donald Trump was part of the media. It's all a con. It's all con. Donald Trump was preserving the interests of the wealthy. Joe Biden was a little bit better, but this guy's not a progressive president. This guy's down the middle. His campaign said that nothing will fundamentally change, and this is where we're getting the cinema mansion. Let's obstruct it. Let's blow everything down the middle. I don't know if America is getting browner, that's going to help Kamala Harris if white right-wingers are dying from COVID. Why is it a politically sound strategy to sacrifice your own voters? This is what I don't get about the GOP. They're sacrificing their own voters. They're sacrificing their older voters. What are they doing? It's a death code. I swear to God, what they're doing with their older base. There's a lawmaker in California that died that didn't get the vax. What's going on? What's going on with the DNC? I think let Donald Trump win. That they don't put Bernie Sanders in there because it's rigged. It's rigged for the wealthy. It's rigged for the billionaires in Congress. It's rigged. It's rigged for people like Manchin. It's rigged. It's rigged for the millionaires and the billionaires in Congress. They got the millionaires in the Democratic Party. It's rigged because the right wing has said money is speech, and then all the money, the Democrats were like, "Yay, money is pouring in." We got to keep up with the GOP. The GOP made the Democratic Party part of the GOP when it said that money is speech and not influence, like the Libertarian Party says is what should be the case. The Libertarian Party says that, unlimited amounts of campaign finance to spend on political candidates is freedom of speech, says the Libertarian Party. The Republican Party likes that. And maybe the elite that run the Democratic Party like it too. Because Obama certainly broke campaign spending in 2008. It's nothing new. It just gets bigger every single year. 2016 was a record breaker. 2020 is a record breaker. So the dark money came in ever since 1978, 1979 with the Buckley versus Vallejo decision that was at the core a right-wing Supreme Court decision. It made the left hardly the left anymore. Left wing is really a centrist right-wing party because of the right-wing Supreme Court. The right-wing Supreme Court indirectly influenced the Democratic Party to become more on the right by catering to corporate interests. This is where you get your COVID supply shortage economy that crafted NAFTA. This is where you get your lack of raising the wages in America to keep up with the cost of living, to keep up with productivity. It's all a big con job. We all have Ronald Reagan to thank for this. Ronald Reagan is single-handedly one of the worst destructive presidents in the history of the country. Ronald Reagan could have kept America going towards a more left-wing vision. That was the case from 1932 to 1979. The middle class saw their wealth increase when America was a more left-wing country under the direction of real left-wing fighters like FDR and Lyndon Baines Johnson. But then that all changed with the Buckley versus Folio decision that guaranteed that the war criminal contractors were going to influence the country for good. Now, what really set apart the Federal Reserve Act of 2013 was the fact that they got rid of the gold standard during the time of Nixon. Now, mind you, this was the 1970s. It was the late 1970s when the Supreme Court allowed the right wing to put an actor like Ronald Reagan in office. What it said was that your money cannot be backed by a hard commodity at all. You can print your currency out of thin air. So it really didn't start from the Federal Reserve Act of 2013. The Federal Reserve Act of 2013 allowed a private international cartel to control the currency of the United States instead of the United States Treasury. It's the Federal Reserve bankers that control it instead of the United States Treasury. But the kicker was getting rid of the gold standard so they can print as much money out of thin air as they want. That's what it really set off. But it all stems from Ronald Reagan. It all stems from the Supreme Court decision of Buckley versus Folio. That's when America died. It's going to get a lot worse and nothing's happening. Kamala. Well, that's what I'm talking about. It's like Donald Trump sympathizer is going to be replaced Joe Biden. It's like it could certainly get a lot worse for a so-called left-wing presidency. Biggest right-wing sympathizer, bigger than Manchin in cinema, is Kamala Harris. Let's not prosecute Donald Trump. Let's donate the Trump. Let's donate to Ivanka. Oh my God, what a con job! What a con job! Thanks a lot, Ronald. For each word, it's going to trickle down to everybody. But your libertarian ideas help the billionaires, and these people were conned to supporting Donald Trump in the right wing. They could have done better with the left wing. Certainly, the right wing has allowed us to say, "Oh, let's not repeat another Donald Trump. Let's elect a corporatist centrist." But then again, it was the boomers. It was the boomers on the left. So you got them racist, bigot boomers on the right. You got the boomers on the left are like, "Hey, MSNBC, I love Obama, I love Hillary. Yeah, they're real." They're not real leftists at all. You're watching too much mainstream media. You're watching too much CNN, little boomer. You're watching too much MSNBC, little boomer. You love Joe Biden a lot. That's what the boomers say. They have no clue. They don't get to live with any of this cost of living, just not keep up with productivity, not with anything. These people are out of touch too. These boomers on the left are out of touch. Same thing with the boomers on the right. They love Donald Trump and suck his dick so much. It all started with Reagan. It all started with Ronald Reagan. We'll have to see the next Reaganomic economic crash like the Great Bush disaster, like the great Donald Trump COVID crash of 2020. We'll have to see the next right-wing administration crash the economy again. We're going to have to see Ivanka crash the economy when she gets elected. I don't trust these gullible Republicans. They're going to put Ivanka in there. It's like a big Trump cult. That Trump name is a big, giant cult right now. And they're so brainwashed that they don't believe that Donald Trump lost the election. Completely delusional. A lot of delusional people out there in the voting populace right now. Don't be surprised if they put Ivanka Trump in the presidency in 2028 and they repeat the same failed economic policies of Ronald Wilson Reagan and the right-wing billionaire trickle-down supply-side nonsense, neoliberal, let's cater to the right-wing nonsense BS.